Well, an American referee, that's Joe Cordes, who's refereed quite an amount, over 50 world title fights in his career, and he's now a next-door neighbor of Wayne McCullough's in Las Vegas, so maybe he'll give him a help here. But the real thing will be down to the boxing ability of Wayne McCullough, first to come forward. And straight away, you can see the height difference and the reach difference here. Yakushiji will try and keep this, I would imagine, at long range and keep him at the end of that long left-hand jab. McCullough, the pocket rocket, as he's called in America, will have to pressurize him, upset him, and not allow him to settle down. Slips in with one good, short right hand on the chin. McCullough, a boxer who very often boxes from behind. You remember it from his Olympic days. You remember in that final, lost the first couple of rounds and came back very well in the last round. And that has happened in a few of his pro fights as well. He's a slowy starter, but here he's trying to take control of this opening round. Yakushiji will use the ring and try and use the space behind him and keep jabbing with that left hand. McCullough bobbing and weaving, trying to get past that long left-hand jab. Short with his right hand. That's a good cracking right hand from the Japanese. Flush on the chin of the Irishman. McCullough whips in a good left hook. Tries it again. Fails the second time. That's a useful right hand from McCullough. And this could be a mistake of Yakushiji to stand and trade punches with McCullough, because that's what McCullough likes. McCullough, who has improved so much in his boxing since he turned professional, improving with every fight, and very rapidly moved into world-class boxing. And now it's his chance to be a champion. And he whips in a solid left hand to the chin. This is a good round so far for McCullough, holding his own very well. And when they stand toe-to-toe, he's the one who seems to be scoring the better. At long range, Yakushiji dangerous all the time with those long punches. Sinks in a good right hand to McCullough's body. McCullough busy all the time. The two hands go. Whips them in again. Cracking right and a good right hand. He's got this man moving in this first round. A cracking right hand to the chin in the opening round from Wayne McCullough. And that one really hurt Yakushiji. And this is a bit of a surprise for the packed arena here. Some 10,000 people. And again, he rocks him with that right hand to the face. Coming here as the outsider, the underdog. And having a remarkably good first round, scoring well with that short right hand and pressurizing the champion in the opening round. And we'll really discover what this Japanese is made of, because he's taken some hard punches. We know that McCullough can take a punch. A lot of holding there. He's been checked for holding. The champion holding as they came in close. And there's the end of the first round. And that surely was a good round for Wayne McCullough. That's the big right hand. There's a reply. 1-2 good solid right hands. Crisp punches to the chin from McCullough. And away we go for the second round. A good first round for Wayne McCullough. Scoring well with those short right hands. Can he keep up the pressure here? I would say this is the plan of campaign, to pressurize this taller opponent and not allow him to settle down, because in the opening minute, Yakushiji was scoring well at long range. I would imagine the instructions from his corner is to try and keep it at long range, but McCullough is going to pressurize him. Keep smothering him with blows, as he did in the opening round. Cracks home a good left hand to the chin, a swinging left hook. And the crowd really fairly quiet after that first round. I think it was something of a surprise to see their star and champion take some high punches in the opening round. McCullough, good man for staying the distance. Whips in a good left hand again. And again, jabbing well with the left hand. This is something he was remarkably good at in his amateur days, and of late in his pro career, he's using that left-hand jab and using it very well. Holds him down, and once again, there's a bit of holding there from the champion Yakushiji. Pawing with the left hand, that's his best punch. Surprised he's not using it a bit more. He knows McCullough can punch hard, but maybe he feels he can take those punches and trade blows with McCullough. McCullough is not a man to stand in front of and exchange punches. That's a good reply from Yakushiji, a good right hand to the chin. And McCullough is the one who's jabbing well in this second round. A little more encouragement from the crowd as Yakushiji sinks home a good left hook to the body. Referee attempts to keep the punches up. McCullough inclined to punch a bit low with that left hook to the body. Whips a good one up to the head this time. McCullough got 1, 2, 3 good left-hand jabs, takes a left hand in reply. Not an awful lot between them now in the second round, but McCullough looks the more comfortable so far. And again, free-flowing left-hand jabs, scoring crisply and accurately. Yakushiji every so often uses a good sinking left hook to the body. But he hasn't the space to work it there now, and he's taking a fair amount of punishment in the second round. Fights his way out of it and fights his way out well. He's been in some very tough, hard battles here in Japan. And this is what makes him the biggest draw in professional boxing here. And you could see there what makes him so exciting. He took a few good hard punches there and came back and hit McCullough hard at the end of that round. He had a good opening round. And in that second round, he hurt the champion, particularly in the early part of the round. The long left hand of Yakushiji with a shorter right. Out for round 3. 28-year-old Yakushiji, whose birthday was just a week ago. Boxing as a professional for quite a long time now. He's had quite an amount of fights. 27 professional fights. He's only been beaten twice, and that was very early on in his career. McCullough, of course, as a professional, has never been beaten. 16 professional fights, which is not an awful lot.
Watch your head, watch your head, watch your head, come on.
This is over 12 rounds. 3 judges, 2 from America, 1 from South Korea, and an American referee. It's a cracking right hand. McCullough is finding his range well now in this round, scoring well. This is the 3rd round. Now this is to go all the way for 12 rounds. But if McCullough can stop his man inside the distance, as he's done with most of his opponents, he's won 13 inside the distance of his 16 professional fights. And he's wearing this man down somewhat now in this 3rd round. A lot of people said he was foolish to come all the way to Japan to box a world champion right in his backyard. But so far, he's holding his own. In fact, that little bit better. I should think he's in front at this stage. He's certainly showing a better selection of punches now in this, the 3rd round, making his opponent miss with those long blows and countering well inside. A good round for McCullough, this one, once again. But all the time, that pawing left hand of Yakushiji looks dangerous. And so far not distressed as he bangs home a long right hand to the body of Wayne McCullough. Well, this is typical Wayne McCullough. This is the style of fighting that makes him so popular. Right from bell to bell, he keeps throwing the punches. Now he's scoring with blows there, but this fellow's resilient. He takes them and takes them remarkably well. And actually pushes McCullough right back and sinks home a good left hook to the body.
on, break up.
Now, Yakushiji is staying the pace remarkably well here. Coming back at the end of each round. And there's the end of the round. And I think he's a happier man going back to his corner. Whether it's enough to win that round for him, I'd rather doubt it. There's once again some action from a third round. Clash of heads. McCullough pinning him down in a corner. But Yakushiji got back out of that, pushing McCullough back with a long left hand.
All right, seconds out.
There's Tel Torrance in his corner. And also in his corner at 83 is Eddie Futch. And straight away, cheer from the crowd as Yakushiji scores with a good right hand to the side of the chin. Now Yakushiji will have to smarten up a little bit now if he's to hold on to his title here. As McCullough has been stealing the points quite well in this, slipping in, jabbing well with the left hand. But Yakushiji showed us in that last round that he can take the punch and come back well.
Don't hold the head down. Don't hold the head, Wayne. Don't hold the head down.
McCullough still stalking his man as he slowed up a little bit now in this round, taking his time. Still looks comfortable in this fight, looking for an opportunity to let go with a variety of blows once again. I think he's discovered now that this man can take a punch and the fight's going to go a long way. So he's got to reserve some of his energy for a long trip here. Because Yakushiji has taken his best punches and came back quite well. So McCullough will plod his way along, scores again nicely. Good left hand in the face. And again, a left hook.
No pushing.
Referee Joe Cordes keeping a tight grip on this scrap here, pulling him up for the slightest infringement. The pace slowed down a little bit now. It was a really hot pace for the first couple of rounds, and here in this fourth round it's slowed down a bit. And again, Yakushiji looks as if towards the end of the round he puts on a bit of a spurt. But McCullough is pinning him down on the ropes once more. Well, he can take a punch, there's no doubt about that. He's prepared to take a few to get through with that left hook to the body. It's a sinking blow. McCullough has felt it on his ribs a few times. Gets a lot of power behind that left hook, Yakushiji. And a good right hand. As the fight progresses, Yakushiji is getting back into this fight, I think. There's McCullough back in the picture once again with three good punches in a row there. Good left hands to the face. The end of the round. And Yakushiji looks a little bit happier as he goes back to his corner. Well, there's not an awful lot between them. I should think that McCullough might be that little bit in front, but not by an awful lot. Yakushiji, no signs of injuries there, but he looks a bit wearisome in his corner, but he held his own well in that last round. Coming back into a fight that's still anyone's fight. Remember, Yakushiji is the favorite, not just with the crowd here, but also with the bookies in America. They had him around 2-1 as a favorite to win this fight. Smarten him up for the next round.
Try to watch that water in the corner. Watch the water in the corner, right? Watch the water. All right, check us out.
There's Tel Torrance in his corner. Matt Tinley is manager. And down at the bottom of the steps is 83-year-old Eddie Futch. Round 5. Round 5 of a fight that's developing into quite an interesting scrap here. The tall champion from Japan, Yakushiji,
Keep him up. Let's go.
wants the punches kept up. Been watching them all the time. Each one has been trying to deliver good punches to the body. Yakushiji has been trying with a left hook to the body, and he's got through with it a few times. And the odd one was a bit borderline. McCullough, too, likes to punch to the body. There's no doubt he has slowed down a little bit, McCullough. Now, that could be part of his plan. Tried earlier to stop his man in the first couple of rounds, but I think he realizes now that this fella is not yet so easy to put away, so he's got to go the full trip. So that's in his mind now. He's got to win this on points. If the opportunity arises, he'll take him out. Good body work there from Yakushiji. There's no doubt that left hook of his to the body. He showed it in flashes in the first couple of rounds, but now he's beginning to use it a bit more. There's Eddie Futch. He's trained so many champions over the years. And there's a trainer from Japan. He is in fact a Japanese-American trainer, Kurihara. And this is the 5th round. The pace slowed down because it was at a frightful pace for the first couple of rounds. McCullough trying to get set to launch another of those attacks. This fella's a slippery man. He gets him on the ropes every so often. But he manages to wriggle off and escape. But eventually, McCullough may pin him down and hold him in one spot.
Hold the head. Let's go.
There's a nice left-hand jab there from McCullough. He was using it earlier in the earlier rounds. This is a good round for Wayne McCullough.
Get him out, come on.
Pace a bit slower. As I say that, he takes a cracking right hand on the chin, but is quick to reply. The crowd here cheering on every punch that Yakushiji scores. Now you begin to wonder, is the slower pace suiting the Japanese or suiting McCullough? There's the end of that round. And that, I think, was a reasonably good round for Wayne McCullough. And I'd have him just that little bit ahead at this stage. For round 6. Round 6. This is a very strong boxer, Yakushiji. When he gets the leverage with the punches, he can get an awful lot of power behind him. McCullough will want to smother him a bit more as he did in the earlier rounds and stay in close and not give him the space to develop those big, long punches. That left hook to the body and the big right hand of Yakushiji is dangerous at all times. Got a bit of a surprise in the first couple of rounds, I think, from McCullough. He's settling down a little bit more now. Referee checks McCullough for dropping his head as he comes in.
Let him out.
And Yakushiji starting this round well now. This is what McCullough must avoid. The slower pace at long range. Yakushiji picking him off at long left-hand jabs, using that reach advantage. McCullough's got to get inside. Tries inside again with a chopping right hand. That's a good left hand from McCullough. That's more like it. 1, 2, 3, good blows. And he sinks a right hand to the body for good measure.
Hold the head, let's go.
Remarkable boxer, Yakushiji. Just when he's under pressure, he always seems to come back, and come back well. His corner urging him on there to try and fight back and take this fight to McCullough. But McCullough is punishing him now in this, the 6th round. And this could be the best round McCullough has had. He's really scoring with punches now in this round, scoring freely. And the retaliation we've seen earlier from Yakushiji has disappeared all of a sudden. Doesn't look too happy. Half a minute to go now. This is the 6th round.
Hold the head.
Well, this means the approach of the halfway stage. Well, there's no doubt about it. Yakushiji can take the punches, and he's come fighting back again towards the end of the round. But not with the same sparkle he had earlier. And that was a good round for Wayne McCullough. And McCullough looks happy enough in his corner there, and I should say they're fairly well pleased the way the fight's going, particularly in that last round. He took command for most of the round there. But Yakushiji looks dangerous at all times.
Round 7, 2nd out.
Round 7. The other man in his 5th defense of his world title. He was involved in a fight some time ago there with one of the richest fights ever in Japan. Over $3 million was paid for him to defend his title against another Japanese who was a former world champion. And he came out on top of what was apparently one of the greatest fights ever seen. Very popular fight.
Let it go, let it stop.
And this is where the big money is, in the lighter weights. And McCullough's here right in the middle of it. And this will be his best payday. And if he wins it, well, the future will make him a millionaire. McCullough again. Accurate with his left hand. Whips in the left hand again. He's one of the most underrated boxers. I don't think many fighters realize he punches so hard. He may not have a clean knockout punch, but he delivers good, hard punches with great consistency all through the... And, as I say, most of his opponents have cracked up before the final bell. Only 3 times has anyone taken him the full distance in his professional career. He's won the rest of them inside the distance.
Hey, get down in your corner, get down.
Whips out the left hand again. Makes Yakushiji miss there. And this looks a comfortable round again for McCullough. He's picking his punches remarkably well in this round. He's scoring well and freely with that left-hand jab. It's a good, clean left-hand jab to the face. Now, they used to say you'd never win on points here in Japan, an outsider, but, well, I think it won't be quite the same story in this one. Isn't this WBC fight to have an American referee, 2 American judges and 1 South Korean judge, so if anything that might favor McCullough. There's Eddie Futch once again, the legendary trainer.
Get him out.
As the pace slows down again, it's giving an opportunity for Yakushiji to get back into this fight with that long left hook to the body. But now McCullough busies him again with a couple of good left-hand jabs. Not a great reaction from the crowd. The pace has slowed down a little bit there, and it's falling into a pattern with McCullough picking him off and picking him off very well.
Frank, you got to tell those people in the corner, they can't be up, they got to be down. They got to be up, they're up on the step. They only got to be all the way down. They're up too high. They can't be on the ring apron. You guys got to be on the corner, but you got to be down. Don't be up too much on the ring apron, right?
Well, I would think they're a little bit worried. The champion's corner. McCullough looks cool, looks calm. I would say they're reasonably happy the way things are going now. If we come up for the 8th round. Now, is this fella going to say goodbye to his title?
Second out.
Well, it's a world title fight, and they've had some very exciting world title fights here in Japan, but the crowd very subdued here, certainly not like a crowd in the West that we'd be used to. Certainly in Ireland, they'd be up off their seats at this stage. But perhaps the reason is that the champion is not doing so well here, and it looks as if McCullough may steal the title from him. So far, McCullough is the one in charge.
Watch your head.
Almost 10,000 people here, you wouldn't think it.
Hold, come on. We're gonna hold that head. Those punches are going low. Let's go.
Checking him for holding. Very strict refereeing in this fight. Yakushiji, is he showing signs of weariness now this round? Round 8, and the pressure is still coming from the Irishman, Wayne McCullough.
All right, come on.
I'm surprised that Yakushiji hasn't used that long left hand a little bit more. McCullough, the busy fighter, throws punches with either hand. Never quite sure which one he's going to lead, whether he leads with the left or the right. Shuffles forward, picking him off every so often, and picking him off with good punches again. Jab, jab with the left hand. The determination on his face. 1, 2, 3. Good punches there. You can see the Japanese head jolt back.
Get him out, come on.
He seems to enjoy a punch-up like that, Yakushiji, but he's up against a tough one. If he thinks he can out-punch Wayne McCullough. And Wayne McCullough is only a professional for about 2.5 years. He's certainly come a long way. He got into the world rankings about a year ago, and here he is now, this chance to take the world title. Dedicated to his boxing, trains really hard.
Let's go, come on, hold it up.
Las Vegas, where he lives. Again, no great change in the pattern of this fight. At the end of the round, Yakushiji waved to the crowd as if he thinks he's getting back into the fight, but I don't know. I somehow doubt it. I think it's slipping away from him at this stage. There we see some of the exchanges again there.
Round 9, second out.
The crowd are trying to get this man moving. At this stage, they see defeat staring them, so the crowd trying to urge him on now and get him to smarten up his boxing, because Yakushiji must be losing at this stage. Crowd did more cheering between the rounds than during the round. Now, if he makes any kind of a good move, I'd say the crowd will really jump behind him. So far, McCullough's been stealing the fight here and stealing the points. It's been a hard, grueling battle, though. He's had to work very hard. He's taken a few good hard punches from the Japanese, particularly those left hooks to the body and a few good right hands, long right hands to the face. But he's all the time, the one who comes forward and is making a big fight of it. Snap, snap goes that left-hand jab again. Now, certainly at this stage, it looks as if it's going to go the full distance. And I would imagine that halfway through this fight, at some stage, McCullough decided, and his corner decided, that this was going to go the full distance, to take his time and win the rounds. That's what he's been doing.
Let's go, come on.
Leaves himself open to a big right hand. Was quick to snap out that left hand once more. Yes, this is Wayne McCullough at his best, living up to all the expectations. It's a long, long trip since the time he lost the gold medal in the Olympics. Then 6 months later, turned professional. And here he is now, fighting for the world title. And there's the crowd coming alive now, as McCullough is forced to give some ground, but not for too long.
Well, hold the head, come on, let's go, come on.
The crowd will really go behind this man, but they want to see a little bit more action from him. Still has plenty of fight left. McCullough must wonder what you're supposed to do to stop this man, because he has given him everything. The champion, and I suppose that's what makes champions, is still there and still fighting back. Good cracking right hand on the chin. There's a variety of punches there from McCullough, and that was a great end to the round for Wayne McCullough. And silence in the arena. Now, what will they do? It's no use boxing at long range. He's got to get into this fight and work hard.
Second out.
Wipe that water, wipe that water.
Referee going to watch the water. They've spilled water a few times in the corner. And this is it now, round 10. 10th round. It's a hard night's work for Wayne McCullough. Well, each of them, they've worked hard all the way through this fight. There's still 3 minutes of boxing left.
All right, let's go, come on, let's go, guys.
It's been a good, clean fight all the way through. Referee completely in control. The contrast in style, which we expected. Yakushiji, we knew, was that bit taller. We knew he was tough. We knew he was a hard puncher. And we expected him to try and keep this fight at long range. But McCullough has been smothering him right from the start, coming in close and not giving him the space to use those long punches.
Don't pull that head down, don't pull that head down, let's go.
Referee pulling him up for the slightest infringement. McCullough coming in square almost throughout this fight. Bobbing and weaving. Good variety of blows. And again, bobs under his opponent's punches and scores with one good right hand to the head. Now, has Yakushiji, has he punched himself out at this stage? I said earlier he looked dangerous all the time, and perhaps he's still dangerous because he has won quite an amount of fights inside the distance. And there the crowd livened up for a while there as he scores with 3-4 good left hands to the face.
Pull the head down, let's go, come on.
Well, he seems to be getting a new lease of life in this round. He'd have to score him with a few good punches. Not for too long. And again, he's pinned on the ropes. Avoids a lot of those punches by rolling his head from time to time, but he still takes far too many. This is where McCullough wanted to keep his defense tight, because this man is going to go for a knockout at this stage. I think he'll be chasing McCullough right to the last bell to try and win inside the distance, because McCullough must surely be ahead on points at this stage. It's remarkable the way he's taken McCullough's best punches, and he still has plenty of power left in his own punches. The crowd trying to get him to pull out the stops at the end of that round. And now only 2 laps to go, as it were. Referee Joe Cortez calls them together for the 11th round. Now the instructions from the corner must surely be to go for his man now with only 2 rounds left. Slight swelling above the left eye of Yakushiji. Shouldn't give him any trouble really, but he's taken a lot of punishment. No real sign of any serious damage so far. The crowd livening up a bit now. They know what has to be done. They must surely feel that this man has got to win by a knockout if he's to hold on to his title.
Get him out, get him out, get him out, get him out, break out, come on, let's go, break out, step back, let's go.
And McCullough, early on in the fight, I think they decided they'd go the full way and win this on points, and he's been scoring well. He'd like to win inside the distance.
Break out.
Japanese corner very anxious now at this stage. And that's a good selection of punches there from the champion. And that brought a few of them to the feet. Good exchange of blows there. But again, the pattern repeats itself, and McCullough persists with those short punches. Well, let's hope McCullough's not running out of steam at this stage, because Yakushiji is putting everything he has into this. He's not going to give up his title easily, and this is a good round for him. This is probably Yakushiji's best round. Well, McCullough's been forced to give a bit of ground in this round.
Hold the head, come on.
Well, he's taken an awful lot, and he's still there, and he's still prepared to make a fight of it. And he's after forcing McCullough to give quite an amount of ground. And this is the 11th round.
Hold the head,
he's putting everything he has into it. The crowd rising to him now.
Let him out.
Referee again breaking them up. A bit of careless boxing there. Well, McCullough has taken his best punches there, and he's still back to the same rhythm again. The short left-hand jab to the face, bobbing and weaving. Snap, snap goes that left hand. A punishing left hand. Well, that was possibly the best round he's had in the fight. Yakushiji. But I think he's left with too much to do now, with one more round left. That was the Japanese boxer at his best in that 11th round. Now, what has he got left in these 3 minutes? He's got to go for it now. Bit of damage, bit of swelling there to McCullough's right eye. and to Yakushiji's left eye. And this the final round. Now, there's been a lot of rounds that were fairly close here. It'll be interesting to see what way the judges mark them. And very often in world title fights, they're inclined to favour the champion when in doubt. But I think there were too many rounds in which there was no doubt that McCullough won. And this should push him in front. And this the last round. McCullough again cracks home a good right hand to the chin. Pulling out all the stops in this last round.
All right, break out, let's go.
He's fought the fight of his life. Wayne McCullough from Belfast. Japanese really worried now at this stage. The crowd very tame all the way through the fight here. Didn't really get going. There's a man who's pleased with the progress of Wayne McCullough. This is a close enough final round. McCullough sinks home one good right hand to the face. Backing off. And Yakushiji has certainly stayed the pace and stayed it remarkably well. And he's finishing this contest looking fairly fresh, despite the fact that he's been pummeled with very hard blows by Wayne McCullough. McCullough now dancing away from his opponent in this last round. He probably feels at this stage he's ahead on points and doesn't want to upset things at this stage. Well, you want to be careful. You want to keep the pressure on this fella right up to the end. And this has been a strange display by Yakushiji, the way he's come back the last couple of rounds.
Pull ahead, don't pull ahead, don't pull ahead.
It's been a good, clean fight throughout. And they certainly earned their money. And this, the biggest payday in the career of Wayne McCullough. Punches going all the time. Takes a hard right hand to the face and the left hand. And the champion is finishing the fight quite well. And that's it, it's all over. They each raised their arms as if, well, I'm the champ now. But we have to wait and see. Certainly, McCullough looks happy enough in his corner there. Wayne McCullough, pocket rocket. And I don't think they're too happy in the Japanese corner.
Judge Perez 118対116 McCullough. Judge Kim 116対115 Yakushiji.
Seems we have a split decision.
Judge Gasmarek 116対113 McCullough.
Yes, McCullough is the winner. He wins it on a 2-1 vote as far as we can understand there. So McCullough is the champion. A disappointment for the Japanese. A great win for Wayne McCullough, now the reigning bantamweight champion of the world, and the whole world before him now. What a great display of courage, of hard punching. He kept up the pressure all the way through. And there's a smiling Eddie Futch. And congratulations from a referee who did a great job, Joe Cortez.